Om Namah Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatasya Vayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, text, chapter 11, the symptoms of conditioned and liberated living entities, text number 8 onwards. Dehastho apina dehastho vidvan swapnadhyatho tithaha adehastho api dehastha kumati swapnadrig yatha. So Krishna is further speaking to Uddhavji. One who is enlightened in self-realization, although living within the material body, sees himself as transcendental to the body, just as one who has arisen from a dream gives up identification with the dream body. A foolish person, however, although not identical with his material body, but transcendental to it, thinks himself to be situated in the body, just as one who is dreaming sees himself as situated in an imaginary body. But this is our situation. We all think we are this body. In Lord Krishna's discussion of the different characteristics of liberated and conditioned soul, the Lord first clarified the distinction between the eternally liberated personality of Godhead and the marginal potency, the innumerable jivas, who are sometimes conditioned and sometimes liberated. In this and the next 9 verses, the Lord describes the different symptoms of liberated and conditioned jiva souls. In a dream, one sees oneself in an imaginary body, but upon waking up, one gives up all identification with that body. Similarly, one who has awakened to Krishna consciousness no longer identifies with the gross or subtle material bodies, nor does he become affected by the happiness and distress of material life. On the other hand, a foolish person, Kumati, does not awaken from the dream of material existence and is afflicted with innumerable problems due to false identification with the gross and subtle material bodies. One should become situated in one's eternal spiritual identity, Nitya Swarupa. By properly identifying oneself as eternal servant of Krishna, one becomes relieved of his false material identity, and therefore the miseries of illusory existence immediately cease, just as the anxiety of a troublesome dream ceases as soon as one awakens to his normal, pleasant surroundings. So how to come to that state of Nitya Swarupa, or get rid of this identification with material bodies? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the perfect process. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. First thing that will happen if we engage properly in Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cleansing of the mirror of the heart. So when it is cleansed, then when the soul looks into the mirror, then he sees himself, not just the body, not anything else. He sees himself. It should be understood, however, that the analogy of awaking from a dream can never be applied to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never an illusion. The Lord is eternally awake and enlightened in his own unique category called Vishnu Tattva. Such knowledge is easily understood by one who is Vidwan, or enlightened in Krishna consciousness. So that enlightenment, that is what is required. So slowly, if we keep on practicing, keep on following the process, it will come. Indriyar indriyartheshu gunarapi guneshu cha griya maneshvaham kuryan na vidvan yasva vikriyaha. An enlightened person who is free from the contamination of material desire does not consider himself to be the performer of bodily activities. Rather, he knows that in all such activities, it's only the senses, born of the modes of nature, that are contacting sense objects born of the same modes of nature. And this interaction of senses with the sense objects, that's what the whole world is mad about. But an enlightened person, he can see. Lord Krishna makes a similar statement in Bhagavad Gita. Tattva vitatu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, the mighty arm, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So he does not get engaged. One who is in knowledge. But one who does not have that knowledge, one who is only worried about khao pio jio, he doesn't care for anything else. The material body always interacts with the sense objects, for in order to survive, the body must eat, drink, speak, sleep, and so on. But an enlightened person who knows the science of Krishna consciousness never thinks, I'm accepting these sense objects as my property. They are meant for my pleasure. He doesn't think that. Similarly, if the body performs a wonderful activity, a Krishna conscious person does not become proud, nor is he depressed for the failure of the body to function in a particular way. In other words, Krishna consciousness means giving up identification with the gross and subtle material bodies. One should see them as the external energy of the Lord, working under the direction of the Lord's empowered representative, Maya. One absorbed in fruitive activities works under the jurisdiction of Mahamaya, or the external illusory potency, and experiences the miseries of material existence. On the other hand, a devotee works under the internal potency, called Yogamaya, and remains satisfied by offering his loving service to the Lord. In either case, the Lord himself, by his multifarious potencies, is the ultimate performer of action. So this knowledge has to come. Knowledge or the realization has to come. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one who claims to be transcendental to the bodily concept of life, but at the same time remains under the influence of material desire and mental transformation is understood to be a cheater and the lowest type of conditioned soul. So one who claims to be transcendental, but he hasn't understood it. But on the other hand, those who are sadhakas, those who are trying to make progress, they're sadhakas. They come under Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We're trying, we're struggling. Oh, sooner or later we'll get there. Devadhine sharire asmin gunabhavena karmana vartamano bhutas tatra kartasmiti nibadhyate. An unintelligent person situated within the body created by his previous fruitive activities thinks, I am the performer of action. Bewildered by false ego, such a foolish person is therefore bound up by fruitive activities, which are in fact carried out by the modes of nature. So this is about the conditioned soul. So he thinks, I am the performer of action. I am the creator of my destiny. I am a self-made man or whatever. He doesn't understand it. Done. All the activities are done by the modes of nature based on our desire and bank balance of our pious activities. Pious or impious, whatever. So the rich people, suppose Elon Musk, okay, so he created this Tesla car, electric car. It drives on its own, automatic. And everybody is going, yeah, you're such a great person. You've invented this and whatever, SpaceX and this and that, whatever he's doing, wonderful things. And oh, you're so great. He is the richest man of the world according to his stocks and this and that. But of course, credit to him, he had done plenty of pious activities in his previous lifetimes. And he's getting the results of those pious activities. But not to give credit to the Lord, that is wrong. It's not that he should not get the credit. Elon Musk should not get. Yes, he should get the credit. He had done plenty of pious activities and he had wonderful inventions or whatever products he has made. But the credit should go to the Lord. Without the mercy of the Lord, he couldn't have done anything. But that is where the problem is, the conditioned and liberated living entities. Conditioned always think, I am the doer. No, you're not the doer. We desire, based on our bank balance of pious and impious activities, the Supreme Lord, sitting as super soul in our heart, he sanctions, and then the material modes of nature, they take over, depending upon whatever we desire, whether it is mode of passion, ignorance, goodness, or whichever combination has to take place, they take over and they get the work done. And we think I'm the doer. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunaha Karmani Sarvasha. The living entity is dependent on Supreme Entity, Lord Krishna. But because of false pride, he ignores the Supreme Personality of Godhead and considers himself to be the performer of action and enjoyer of everything. Srila Madhvacharya states that just as a king punishes a rebellious subject, the Supreme Lord punishes a sinful living entity by forcing him to transmigrate from one body to another in the network of the illusory energy. But Krishna not just forces him to transmigrate. He says all these asuric pravritti, demoniac mentality people, the souls, I cast them into the lower species of life, birth after birth, because they are so envious. Not envious of each other. Yes, they're envious of each other, but they're envious of the Lord also because they don't give credit to the Lord. These are demoniac. It's very serious. So doing so much of pious activity, and obviously whatever Elon Musk has achieved, it doesn't take, I'm sure it won't take one lifetime of pious activities, many lifetime of wonderful pious activities he has done. But then in one lifetime, just use them all, get glorified, get the credit, get the name, fame, whatever he wants, and the money he got. And then next life, we don't know. According to scriptures, not a good destination. But we don't know. Evam vyakta shayan asanatan majjane darshana sparshan grana bhojan shravanadishu na tatha vadyate vidvan tatra tatra dayan gunan. An enlightened person, on the other hand, fixed in detachment, engages his body in lying down, sitting, walking, bathing, seeing, touching, smelling, eating, hearing, and so on, but is never entangled by such activities. Indeed, remaining as a witness to all bodily functions, he merely engages his bodily senses with their objects and does not become entangled like an unintelligent person. So, remaining as a witness to all bodily functions, he merely engages his bodily senses with their objects. Merely engages means he is not into sense gratification. In the previous chapter, Uddhava asked Lord Krishna why an enlightened person, just like a conditioned soul, engages in external bodily functions. Here is the Lord's answer. While engaged in bodily functions, an unintelligent person is attached to both the means and end of material life, and therefore experiences intense lamentation and jubilation on the material platform. A self-realized soul, however, studies the inevitable defeat and suffering of ordinary persons and does not make the mistake of trying to enjoy the bodily functions even slightly. He instead remains a detached witness, merely engaging his senses in the normal functions of bodily maintenance. As indicated here by the word Adayan, he engages something other than his actual self in material experience. He engages something other than his actual self. So this is for the enlightened soul, how he acts. So completely detached means then he doesn't get into the cycle of not just the cycle of birth, death, but cycle of getting the reactions for his activities. He understands he's not this body. Prakriti stho api asansakto yathakam savita nilaha vaisharyadekshya sanga shitya chinna sanshaya pratibud iva swapnana nana tvad vinirvite. Although the sky or space is a resting place of everything, the sky does not mix with anything, nor is it entangled. Similarly, the sun is not at all attached to the water in which it is reflected within innumerable reservoirs, and the mighty wind blowing everywhere is not affected by the innumerable aromas and atmospheres through which it passes. In the same way, a self-realized soul is completely detached from the material body and the material world around it. He is like a person who has awakened and arisen from a dream. With expert vision sharpened by detachment, the self-realized soul cuts all doubts to pieces through knowledge of the self and completely withdraws his consciousness from the expansion of material variety. With his expert vision sharpened by detachment, so knowledge is there, detachment is there, he cuts all doubts to pieces through knowledge of the self. Very, very important. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a self-realized soul cuts all doubts to pieces by direct experience of his true spiritual identity. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, and there is no possibility of any existence separate from Lord Krishna. Such expert knowledge cuts all doubts to pieces. As stated here, Prakriti stho api asamshaktaha. Like the sky, the sun, or the wind, one who is self-realized is not entangled through those situated within the material creation of the world, of the Lord. Nanatva, or material variety, refers to one's material body, the bodies of others, and the unlimited paraphernalia for body sense gratification, both physical and mental. By awakening to Krishna consciousness, one completely retires from illusory sense gratification and becomes absorbed in progressive realization of the soul situated within the body. So, and this, it's not that this knowledge has to come separately. It's part of Krishna consciousness, part of progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. It will come. Bhakti, along with bhakti comes knowledge and detachment. Very soon. It's not, it takes too long. Very soon comes knowledge and detachment as we make progress in bhakti. Because the aim of bhakti is not just detachment. Aim of bhakti is attachment with Krishna, developing love for Krishna, not this knowledge and detachment. That will happen automatically. So this is also one of the things that we can see if we are making progress, is we are getting more attached to Krishna and getting more and more detached from the material world. More and more understanding develops. I'm not this body. And all these people who think they are this body, they are not this body either. And Prabhupada, he gave a wonderful term to everybody in the material world. He said they're flapping dead bodies. Means so many people we see. We go to the market, or we go to the mall, or we go to any place, in India especially. We see so many people. Just feel, just stand there, observe everybody, and as Prabhupada, flapping dead bodies. They're moving, but they just don't know where to go. What are they doing? This is running around for basically for sense gratification. That's all. The aim is only this, nothing else. The unlimited experiences of material objects only increase one's anxiety, whereas perception of the absolute truth, Shri Krishna, immediately brings one to the platform of peace. Thus, one who is intelligent retires from the world of matter and becomes a fully self-realized Krishna conscious person. Yasya syurvita sankalpa pranendriya manodhyam vrittaya savinirmukto dehasto api tadgunaya. A person is considered to be completely liberated from the gross and subtle material bodies when all the functions of his vital energies, senses, mind, and intelligence are performed without material desire, means only for the service of Krishna. Such a person, although situated within the body, is not entangled. The material body and mind are subject to lamentation, illusion, hunger, lust, greed, insanity, frustration, etc. But one who remains active in this world without attachment is considered vinirmukta, or completely liberated. The vital energy, senses, mind, and intelligence are purified when engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, as confirmed throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the process, devotional service, bhakti. And in bhakti, the most important process, Shravanam, Kirtanam. And of course, of the two, chanting. But chanting means we have to hear also what we are chanting. That's it. It's the essence of everything. Yasyatma hinsayate hinsra yen kinchid yadrichaya archayate va kvachit tatra nyavyati kriyate buddha. Sometimes for no apparent reason, one's body is attacked by cruel people or violent animals. At other times and in other places, one will suddenly be offered great respect or worship. One who becomes neither angry nor when attacked, nor satisfied when worshipped is actually intelligent, means completely detached. But we get angry when somebody attacks us, not just attacks the body, when somebody attacks our reputation or he wants to take away our money or whatever, we get angry. And we get very elated when somebody offers great respect to worship and puts garland around us and gives us nice place to sit, nice prasadam and this and that. But one should remain completely detached. If one does not become angry when attacked for no apparent reason, and if one does not become ambivalent when glorified or worshipped, then one has passed the test of self-realization and is considered fixed in spiritual intelligence. Uddhava asked Lord Krishna, Kairava Gyayeta Lakshanaya. By what symptoms can a self-realized person be recognized? Just as Lord Krishna enlightened Arjuna, he now explains the same subject matter to Uddhava. In this verse, the Lord describes symptoms by which it is very easy to recognize a saintly person. For a normal person becomes furious when criticized or attacked, and overwhelmed with joy when glorified by others. There is a similar statement by Yagyavalkya to the effect that one who is actually intelligent does not become angry though pricked with thorns, and does not become satisfied at heart merely by being worshipped with auspicious paraphernalia such as sandalwood. It's difficult because we have to see whether attack or disrespect or respect, it's only for the body, not for the soul. Nothing to do with the soul, only to do with the body. And we are not this body. So why get so attached? But we do get attached. We do like it. Somebody respects us. When somebody is criticizing us, then we go all crazy. But this is the symptom of a liberated living entity. Okay, so we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.